I mean, that's ridiculous because it's so ironic because the whole idea of democracy is for people to have the ability to think for themselves and to be developed enough such that they're able to make the decision that affects their lives. And yet, as how you said, you're told what to wear, what to eat, how to speak to people, what to say, what not to say, how to think, and what not to think. And it's so interesting, because most of the time nowadays it's like it's hard for people to think, and the moment you have one person who thinks, then everyone is also trying to oppose them. We covered about religion and spirituality, and you said Ubuntu is the answer for that. Please tell us a bit more about that.
I am because we are. Umuntu, umuntu, ngabantu. You become because people are. You come out of them and you remain in them and with them. It's growing together, loving, caring for each other as we care for ourselves. It's actually a higher form. I don't even want to use the word religion, because once you use that word, we are already taking a fluid form of life, and you're trying to structure it into a colonial mindset.
An institution.
What they might call a hegemony or a construct, where religion, what is religion? Then first thing you go there is, so if you want to talk about religion, so who is the God there? Do they have a trinity? No. So who is the Holy Spirit? And you're trying to do what they call typology, comparing this and this. You cannot even compare African spirituality to a religion, because we do not go to church as Africans. We become the mobile church. Religion is not an occasion. African spirituality is a daily communication with nature and everything that is around you. So when we are eating, it is spiritual exercise. When we are drinking, it is a spiritual exercise. When we are marrying, it is a spiritual exercise. When we are bearing, it is a spiritual exercise. When we are cutting trees, it's a spiritual exercise. When we are killing animals for food, it's a spiritual exercise. When we are crossing a river, it's a spiritual exercise. When we are climbing a mountain, it's a spiritual exercise. When you are plowing your field, it's a spiritual exercise. When it rains, it's a spiritual exercise. When we go to sleep, so in other words, life is a continuous spiritual expression. Continuous spiritual expression. Many kids did not hear me the other day when I actually said Christianity is a schizophrenic organization, because it teaches people to become this on this day, then they fall back to who they are for the rest of the week. So you have split personalities. On Sunday or on Saturday, you jump at entires. On Friday, you at the mosque, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Immediately you walk away from there, back to life. Whereas in African spirituality, we don't have to run away from what we are. You give me a glass of water, even the ceremony of accepting the water. Me, before I drink, then I must pour a little bit on the ground to remember those that have come before me. And then I drink the rest. And we pass over the cup to the other person. We're sharing. He also takes a sip, and etc. And we sit around and we gather. Therefore, spirituality in its essence, it is not a theory, but it is practice. It is a lifestyle of constant communion with elements of nature. So by the time you're coming to its values of Ubuntu, then it says, you are safe with you, but you are also safe with me. What is mine is yours, and what is yours is also mine. And when I want it from you, I'll give you something. You can also give me something. We become brothers. That sharing idea. Our mothers, my grandmother was quite an interesting old woman. She would send me to the neighbor to go and ask for salt. And when there's not enough salt. But then I asked her, Gogo, but why must I go and fetch salt next door? But there is salt in your house here. She says, no, you must go and ask salt from that poor family, because they must also feel that we also ask things from them. And you go to ask for salt, not because you need salt, but you also want them to feel the egg. And by the time you're also returning the bowl of salt. It's not going empty. You come with salt. When you return the favor, it goes there with a bucket of meal, a bag of maize, cassava, and other things, and the relationships begin to mature in that understanding that we share together, we cry together, we eat together. That's why we never used to write invitation letters for weddings and etc. and funerals. You just take your kudu horn, stand on the side of the mountain, humbu, humbu. There's an alarm there. What has happened? Someone has died. People come together, they cry together. Weddings, it's not about who invitation, strictly by invitation. You invite who? The community is getting married. The community is getting married. We are all coming to eat here. And we are all, and the poor old lady who has lost her husband, community gathers together, go to the old woman, help her to plow her fields, help her to work together. And for me, that ethics of community constructs kept the community together. Whether you wanted to marry, you don't have enough cows, brothers and uncles come together, they contribute, and you must go to the in-laws' house, you must work there, you get your bride, what it's so. But when white people are looking at this, you're selling your children. What? Because you don't understand the culture. So just stay away. Stay away. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Hence, I said a very reckless statement, which I will repeat on your show, where the Bantu concept, which is an African white people are not classified as Bantu. And because they're not classified as Bantu, in African languages, Bantu means human beings. And since white people are not Bantu, maybe they don't have Buntu, and they cannot be counted on the list of humanity, because being a human being is being humankind. It is being mankind. You are kind to other human beings. You're mankind to other men. So what kind of a people would be manufacturing guns and bombs, go and kill other human beings? Are those human beings? Is that Ubuntu? You have a whole country that specializes in bombs, drones, guns, bullets. For what? Was going to kill them. So Ubuntu is a preserver, it's a preserve, it preserves, the preservatory. It preserves humanity. At the center of it, it is holding life as sacred. And whoever has life needs your support. We live together in harmony in that concept of Ubuntu. And without Ubuntu, we don't have Bantu.
And that's interesting, because when I think about it, it's like, how many times do you hear people saying African religion compared to African spirituality? When we speak about Africa, it's always spirituality. It's not religion, right? I think which speaks back to the sense of community. And Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, one of the things that he did the best was, or at least he tried doing the best, was creating that sense of community among Tanzanians. And that's why we had Ujamaa.